Oh, my God. They should have never done it. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a effing friend. It's been a couple of days, everybody. It's been a couple of days. Fresh back in the house. Back in the house, baby. Woo! Woo! The Sunday sermon is now about to commence, everybody. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling great. Salute to everybody in chat. Salute to my guy, Classic Man Q. He says, about damn time. Oh, my God. Out of the gulags. My guy, David, is in a place, man. Oh, man, listen, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. The Raiders hired a quarterback coach. We're going to get into passing game coordinator, all of that. We're going to get into that. We're also going to get into the fact that, listen, man, you know, the NFL Combine, there's so many young players, man, that you know, have caught my eye. You know, I want to start talking about, you know, some of these guys that fit inside of the framework of the Raiders' new defense, because to me, this has got to be a heavy, heavy defensive draft, guys. Best cup of coffee I had all week, man. I've been trying to lay off of the coffee too, everybody. Been trying to lay off of the coffee, man. Trying to lay off of the coffee. Trying to get back right. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. David, dude, appreciate you, bro. Like they said, he said, where's the gulags? It is in your mind, my friend. It is in your mind. It is in your mind. And salute to my guy, Hug D's. Oh, thank you, Martin from way across the pond. Yes, you had another Wasted Live over in over across the pond in Liverpool, England. Salute to my guy Martin for hosting me. Thank you. But look, man, let's get into it, guys. Like, so let's get the Raiders news out of the way first, right? So the Raiders, February 27th, hired Nick Holtz, offensive passing game coordinator. That is one of the last spots, if not the last spot, in this new Raider coaching staff and regime. And Holtz has been named offensive passing game coordinator. He was and coached for the Raiders for 10 seasons. He coached with us from 2012 to 21. He served the past 2 years as offensive coordinator with the Tennessee Titans. And last year, Holtz helped to tutor the number 1 pick, Cam Ward. Now, thing about that is this, right? Cam Ward did all right. That doesn't make me super hopeful. I'll be honest with you. Cam Ward did start 17 games. He threw 15 touchdowns. And, you know, he did all right. And hopes to help to direct the Titans offense in the running game with Tony Pollard and wide receiver Calvin Ridley. They both got 1,000 yards rushing and receiving, respectively. And, you know, from week 10 to week 18, the Titans were tied for 8th in the NFL in gross passing yards. So that's something that is something that you can kind of, you know, put your finger on and get excited about. Now, Holtz had joined the team in 2023, and he was a passing game coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he also worked on an offense that featured Trevor Lawrence and helped kind of direct Trevor Lawrence's career. And Trevor Lawrence seems to be trending in the direction where he's one of the better quarterbacks in his league. Now, Holtz helped the unit rank 9 in passing yards when he was there and 13th in points scored. So, listen, he was a UNLV, you know what I mean? And he had a decade with the Raiders. So, you know, this is a guy that has had a variety of roles across the National Football League. And he also is a guy who, you know, served and had many hats and has a lot of different experience from having those kind of roles, man. And the cool thing about him is this is a guy who's rubbed shoulders and worked with some of the best offensive minds that have been with the Raiders in the past. You know, guys like Greg Olson, Bill Musgrave, John Gruden, and also Greg Knapp. Right now, Greg Knapp didn't do that great with us. He was really good down in Atlanta, but you know, Greg Knapp was if he did nothing else, he had a damn good running game. Right now, this is the thing, man. He is a guy that's coming here with a wealth of experience. He's going to help oversee, you know, our new quarterback, and you know, hopefully, you know, he can come in here and bring some of that magic. Now, I remember, you know, back in the day when Holtz was the assistant wide receivers coach. You know, he helped to develop the Crabtree and Cooper duo. You know, so he's been around a lot of success, guys. This is not something that's going to make you super like crazy or excited if you're a Raider fan, but I just got to give you guys the news. I got to give it up, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, yo. My guy Hugdies, Diego Pavia showed he can't throw deep for shit. His mouth casts a deeper pass than his arm. Listen, bro, you know, and let's get into what we're here for, the NFL Combine. I was watching, you know, a lot of the quarterbacks, you know, the guys that threw today, you know, Carson Beck looked polished. He looked smooth. Drew Allar, man, you know, just jumps off the page when it comes to athleticism, though. You know, Drew Allar is a guy that if the Raiders were not drafted Fernando Mendoza and if we didn't have the #1 pick, I would be pounding the table for the Raiders to try to pick up a guy like Drew Allar, you know, like in the second round or late first round. But he's a guy that I think is going to have some success at the next level. There are a lot of people who do not believe so, right? There are a lot of people who kind of got off of the Drew Allar train. You know, they're kind of scouting the helmet instead of the player. But he has a lot of arm talent, big physical kid, can move coming off of an injury. I think he's going to be a steal for somebody in this draft. I really, really do. I really, really do. And I love the wide receiver group. The wide receiver group in this draft really shocked me. I mean, listen, the athletic profile of all of these dudes, man, since I've been watching the last few days, man, is a lot better than a lot of people think. Like, there are a lot of people that are like, this is just a top-heavy draft. There are a lot of young players, man, that people are going to be really excited about in the mid-rounds, man. A lot, man. A lot. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. You know, Pavia underwhelmed me. A lot of these quarterbacks, you know, were underwhelming. You know, a lot of these guys were underwhelming, man. I tell you what, though, man, some of the guys that were some of the guys that jumped out for the page for me was a guy like Jeremiah Love, man. Jeremiah Love looks like he is going to be a star as soon as he hits the field, man. Jeremiah Love, man, my God. I mean, what a phenomenal talent that kid is, man. And, you know, listen, you know, I watched him a lot in college. You know, Ty Simpson had a decent workout. You know, he had a decent workout, man. He really did. I can't front on Ty Simpson. He's not a guy that I would be looking to draft, but, you know, little small for my liking. You know, I like my quarterbacks to be over 6'3". But look, man, look, the guy looks like he's ready to rock and roll, man. He looked like he's ready to rock and roll, man. He really does, man. He looks like he's gonna make, you know, a team like the Rams or somebody really, really happy, man. You know, but the thing about me is he's 6'1", you know what I mean? Smaller. That's not something that I'm really interested in. I'm not really interested in that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He seems more like a Mac Jones kind of a guy. You know, one of those guys that in the right situation could be successful, but the athleticism is not going to jump off of the page. Look, you know, towards the end of the season, he kind of tailed off, man. Now, you know, you start looking at, you know, his boom or bust potential. It could be a bust, man. It could definitely be a bust. Look, we all know what we definitely are hoping for. We're hoping that we don't got to worry about none of this. We got Fernando Mendoza, and then you start looking into, yo, we got a 3-4 defense, and we're gonna need for this team to go out there and draft, you know, a defensive tackle, a zero tech. You know, so this is pretty much, you know, the situation that we're in right now. The Raiders have to really mine the defensive side of this draft, and there's a lot of young prospects, man, that I'm really excited about. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Let me tell you, man, a guy I'm super excited about is my guy Darrell Jackson, man, from Florida State. You know, this kid looks like he'll fit right in for what the Raiders are trying to do with the 3-4, man. He looks like he is going to fit right freaking in, man. I mean, big physical cat. And you guys know my guy Caleb Banks is definitely a guy that I would love if the Raiders can get their hands on. But look, Caleb Banks is looking like he is the carbon copy of Chris Jones, to be real with you. You know, he has that foot injury, but if he's healthy and he's balling, he looks like he is going to be a Chris Jones level guy. I think he's probably going to go in the first round, if we're being honest, right? You know, it'd be nice if he went in the second round and he'd be the guy that I would want the Raiders to take, him or Darrell Jackson. But I'm going to tell you something, man. That kid, Caleb Banks, is a monster. The kid is an absolute monster, man. Absolute monster. And Robbie Leonard is going to have to bring in a zero tech like that. He's going to have to take up a guy that can take that A gap and really take on blocks. You know, that this is what he's going to need. He's going to need to have a guy that's going to be able to take on two blockers, man. Well, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Yo, what do you think of Taylor Green? He's definitely going to be a QB after yesterday. Yeah, listen, man. Taylor Green, man, he is a hell of an athlete, you know, but and got a nice lively arm. The thing with him is I haven't seen enough of him actually playing, right? Like at the combine, everybody looks great. And that's the thing, man. Like you don't want to have recency bias. You don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. You want to make sure that when you're talking about some of these guys, you've actually watched them. Now, the thing for me with Caleb Banks is, you know, this is a guy that I've watched a lot. You know, I have a family member that played for the University of Florida, was a starter on that defense. Caleb Banks was injured towards the end of the year. And, you know, when he did play, he jumped off the page to me, right? I watched a lot of Florida State this year, you know, because a lot of those games after the Florida State games have come on, you know. So I watched a lot of Florida State. I watched a lot of SEC football this year. I watched a lot of ACC football this year. I watched a lot of Big Ten. You know, it's funny. I didn't really watch as much Notre Dame as I normally do. I watched a lot of Penn State. So those are a lot of the players, you know, if I'm being honest, the guys that I actually saw in full game situations are guys that I was really looking for and scouting, you know, going into this draft cycle. Now, my guys, man, I'm telling you, man, like these TCU players, these guys, man, are freaking quick. The Ohio State, man, Sonny Styles, man, and his brother Lorenzo Styles Jr., man, these freaking guys, man. I mean, they didn't come to play at all, man. They didn't come to freaking play at all, man. Them guys was out there freaking balling, man. Balling. Laker Nation, Genty versus Love, who's better? I mean, bro, Genty to me had the better college career. Going into the pros, it remains to be seen. But I think that's like man, that's like splitting hairs right there. You know what I mean? You know, the kind of running back that Jeremiah Love is, he is the kind of running back that if I saw Genty and I saw Jeremiah Love in the park and I had to pick one of them, I will probably pick Jeremiah Love, right? But I think Ashton Genty, man, just the kind of year that he had at the kind of school he had it at, you know, and the fact that he's already had his year down, you know, with such a bad offensive line, I think those guys are going to be battling for the rushing title going forward. I couldn't really tell you exactly who the better guy is at this point, man. Yeah, man, them Styles boys, dad, man. Yeah, see, Lorenzo Styles Sr. played in the league. Like a lot of times, bro, a lot of these dudes, you know, people don't understand. This shit don't come from nowhere, man. A lot of these guys, man, the apple don't, that's the old sayings are true. The apple don't fall far from the tree, man. Lorenzo Styles and his wife did their thing, man. They did their thing, man. Them guys were, man, let me tell you, them guys were off the freaking charts. All of those Ohio State. I mean, what's in the water at Ohio State, man? It's always been like that. I remember back in the day when Ricky Dudley and them was coming out. What is in the water at Ohio State, man? Man, and yo, Raider Purge, I look, I'm hoping that the Giants pull a Saquon Barkley and take him. I hope the Giants take him or somebody before Kansas City. I do not want to see that guy go. Like, I hope the Saints or somebody takes Jeremiah. I do not want to deal with that guy every damn two times a year. Salute to my guy, David Walker, man. Salute my brother. Banks or Orange for DT. I mean, look, if I had it my way, it would be Caleb Banks, even though he has that foot injury. Dave, if I had it my way, it would be Caleb Banks, man. I like Orange too, because I think that I'm gonna be real with you. I think that Caleb Banks is at the very minimum a late first rounder. But Orange is a guy that you could probably get in the third. Right. So if there was, I would love to see both of those guys get drafted, man. I would love to see the Raiders draft both of them guys, man. For real, man. But yeah, Orange is one of those guys, man, that he's not gonna go as high, man. He's not gonna go as high, man. But look, man, the performance that Caleb Banks put on, he ran a 5 flat, he had 32-inch vertical, 9.6 broad jump. He ranked at the top as far as athletic profile when it comes to these defensive tackles. His measurables is insane. He's 6'6", 327, 85.5-inch wingspan. The longest for a defensive tackle since 1999, bro. And look, this guy has the upside you wouldn't believe, man. Quick first step, elite power, elite bull rush. He needs to just improve his technique a little bit, but for the most part, man, Caleb Banks, bro, is to me, and I'm just gonna call it, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna be a future All-Pro. A future All-Pro, man. And this is the thing, man. I'm looking at the way things are going, and I think he's probably not going to get past the Chicago Bears. I don't see him getting past the Chicago Bears, man. I really don't. It seems like he's a fit for them. Peter Woods is another guy that might go to Chicago, right? I like Peter Woods. Playing on that line with Montez Sweat would be a terrific opportunity for a young kid like that. Woods was a guy, he had 30 tackles, 2 sacks, pass breakup at Clemson. He's another defensive tackle you got to keep your eye on. Really good young interior defensive defender that you can add to any room, man. The thing about him is that he needs to add some play strength and he needs to fill out his frame. And I don't know if Peter Woods is going to go as high as people are having him mocked because of that particular fact, man. But he's definitely explosive, man. He got some strong legs, man. Strong legs, man. And he got them short arms. Salute to my brother Quadre Sam Shadim with the first super of the day. My dog. Salute. So scheme trumps coaching. Stoutland took a guy that didn't know how to put his equipment on and turned him into an All-Pro. Yeah, man. Listen, bro, I love Jeff Stoutland, bro. But the thing is this, right? He's not going to go to a place where he doesn't have any connection, right? Like, I think that, when you start talking about the Raiders, the biggest problem with the Raiders is that there hasn't been a situation where we've had a cohesive mindset in the organization. That's been a lot of the problems. That's a lot of the reason why, the Raiders a lot of times seems like they have a land of misfit toys with coaches and players. The ideology changes because you keep bringing in new coaches, you keep bringing in new players, you keep bringing in, coaching staffs that have these arranged marriages, right? And I would prefer that the Raiders do what they did. So if Stoutland is not a guy that has that kind of relationship with the Kubiak clan, then I understand it. I get it. He doesn't run their scheme. And I just want the Raiders to have a situation to where, there's no excuses. There's no argument. Everybody's on the same sheet of music and they can move this thing to the forefront. But what I love to have Stoutland University in silver and black, I would love that. Because this is the guy, a lot of the Laki Tassi fans out there. There's a lot of Laki Tassi fans. Like every time I do the show, there's always somebody that puts Laki Tassi in the long-term plans for the Raiders. And, just from an athletic profile, you would want to think that he would be that kind of guy, right? But the thing is this. He doesn't have a lot of football. He doesn't have a lot of snaps. Snaps matter. Snaps matter. I'm going to say it for a third time. Snaps matter. And, not having the guy, like, let's see if this group, Dennison and these guys, can develop him. But a guy that I know can develop that kind of a player is Stoutland because he did it in Philadelphia with Mailata. But the scheme is important, bro. Just because being a good teacher is important, it doesn't mean that scheme isn't important as well, Quadre. But they're not mutually exclusive. Salute to my guy, AC Ybarra, man. Salute, man. Salute, man. Yo, man, I appreciate all of y'all pulling up on this afternoon waste. Appreciate all of y'all pulling up. But my God, what it is, Wasted, tapping in for the West Coast bright and early. Oh, my dog. Appreciate you, man. Oh, I forgot it's 9:30 on the West Coast. Salute to everybody on the West. Salute to everybody on the West, man. But yeah, man, we gotta. I want to start talking about, some of the defensive tackle that are coming out, man. At the combine, man. Like some of these dudes, man. Some of these guys look like they were carved out of granite. Some of these cats, man. Some of these cats, man. Like these guys, man. My God, man. These big jokers, man. Man, there's a lot more talent than a lot of people would think, man. Now, Ruben Bain is the guy that everybody talked about. People are saying that he lost a little money because of his measurables and his arms. I think that what's really, really going to determine, what happens with Ruben Bain is his pro day and the tape, the game tape. Like everybody forgets about the game tape, right? Like, listen, man, you got the Ruben Bains of the world, man. You got the Mesidors of the world. You got the Joshua Josephs out of Tennessee, big fella. Derek Moore, Dante Corleone is a guy that the Raiders need to keep their eye on, even though he's only 6 foot tall. He's 340. He is a unit. Daryl Jackson is my guy. When you put the tape on, man, you're gonna see a guy that is a mountain. Daryl Jackson Jr. is a guy that I think that the Raiders could probably get in the 3rd round, man. And this guy's 6'6". He's a big 3 technique, possible 0 tech. You know what I mean? But he is a monster, bro. Monster. Played in 13 games as a true freshman. Man, let me tell you something, man. This is a guy that in last year's campaign, he had 32 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, pass breakup, forced fumble, all ACC. Just a beast, man. Just a beast, man. And he stayed. He could have went last year with Joshua Farmer, but he withdrew his name and he went back and he had some unfinished business, man. And he's a mammoth guy, man. He's 330, 6'6", man. He's able to eat space, and this is exactly what we need. Able to take on double teams. He shows a lot of short area quickness, man, for his size. He really does. And I want to try to find some of his combine numbers. I got to look that up, man. The only thing with him is, though, his motor runs hot and cold, but that's what happens with a lot of these big guys. And that's the reason why the Raiders got to make sure that they come away with more answers. They can't just, they got to come away with a bunch of these young cats. Salute to my guy, Quadre Sam Shadim. Again, what's your take on Kobe Young as a last pick sleeper? I mean, bro, look, I like Kobe Young, man. I like him. I don't know if he's going to be there for the last pick. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think so, man. I mean, listen, he's 6'5", man. He's 6'5". He ran a 4.49. Like, I don't think Kobe Young gonna be there as a last pick, my brother. I really, really don't. When you got that kind of height, weight, and speed, bro, I don't see Kobe Young getting past the 3rd round, 3rd or 4th round. I don't. He played at a big school, played at Georgia. I see him getting drafted in the 4th round, bro. My guy, Uncle Patty Cakes. Hello, Wasted. What's good in the world, my friend? Appreciate you, Uncle Patty Cakes. Yeah, but bro, yeah, that kid, man. I really, really, really don't see him getting past the 3rd or the 4th round, bro. Man, that kind of size. Look, that's the one thing that ain't going out of style. Big, fast football players. There's the one thing that ain't going out of style. I tell you, man. But look, when we start talking about some of these defensive tackles, and I wanted to kind of focus on that position, and I want to get into the linebackers. A lot of these guys, man, you're gonna find some value. You are gonna find some value at that position, man. You definitely are, man. But Jackson is a guy that I'm very, very, very interested in, man. Very, very interested in bringing him in. Mesidor is probably going to be gone. Caden McDonald, 6'2", another guy. He's a nose tackle. Big nose. I think Caden McDonald's a guy that could be there for us in the second or the third round, man, out of Ohio State. I mean, this is a guy, when he came into college, man, he was one of Georgia's most decorated defensive linemen. 4-star recruit, big fella, man. And listen, man, you know, he's a guy that is just a roadblock, bro. Centers are going to have a problem struggling with this big brother, man. And his play strength is unbelievable, bro. He is a people mover. He's a mountain of a man, man. He can anchor a defensive line if you get him and put him out there and get him going, get his hand movement and get his technique right. The only thing is, man, his arms are a little short. And, you know, his pass rush is very, very basic. You know, he's a guy that has bull rush or bust. But the thing is, in the 3-4 defense, we don't really need him to really rush the passer that much. You know? And then it's the thing. He's another guy, another big guy who don't really have that motor to keep everything rocking and rolling. Yo, my guy, Raider Junkies, Max of Detroit reports true. Look, man, it's a possibility, right? The problem is, and I think that, you know, and that's where I saw Max going anywhere. That's where I saw Max going anywhere, is the Detroit, right? It just makes sense. If you are going to move him, right, you want to move him somewhere where he has ties. You want to move him somewhere and do the right thing by Max, right? You want to do the right thing by him. If you are going to move him, you want to take him and, you know, you want to get the best return you can, right? Terrion Arnold gives you that, but he just got arrested. So, you know, it's like, because if you move Max, you're going to want 2 first-round picks. You're going to want to start him, man. This is what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Look, thing about it is, and like I told y'all, man, I really don't really want to keep broaching the Max thing, because either it's going to happen or it's not. Either it's going to happen or it's not. I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to keep going over it. Either which way, I'm okay with. If they move him, let's just hope they get a starter in return, somebody that's a real legitimate starter and not like a turnstop kind of a guy that you can cross off. You know, hey, listen, we got a guy. He's on that side. That's it. We're good, right? Also, you want to get that draft compensation, because you're letting one of the all-time great players to put on your uniform and walk out the door. You know? Well, yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, man. But this is the thing, man. You know, Max at the combine requested that he didn't, you know, request a trade. Listen, bro, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever happens, it happens. If he want to be here, he's going to be here, and we're going to have the great player that we've always had. If he's behind the scenes trying to make certain things shake, he wants to go, then God bless. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to keep going into the Max thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. And this is the thing. Yo, everything is moving in a direction to where the Raiders are starting to turn things around. Everything is moving in that direction. And I think I can see the value in keeping a great player like that. And I can also see the value in getting the draft compensation and building around this new nucleus you have. But if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen now, right? Because now the Raiders have to start, you know, aligning themselves with what they're going to do when it comes to, you know, free agency. You know, legal tampering period is coming up, right? So that's a situation where you would want to make sure that you have your draft compensation in line so you can formulate your plan for the offseason. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. What is going on in the chat? I'm not even looking at the chat right now, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not even looking at the chats. The drills are about to start in 30 minutes, guys. The drills are about to start. Eric Gentry is another kid I love. Eric Gentry, listen, look, my guy Cream Corn put me up on Eric Gentry, man. I didn't really see a whole lot of him. I was aware of him, but I did not see a whole lot of him during the season. But yo, he is a guy that I am super like excited about bringing in. He's got the kind of frame where he could be like a Willie McGinnis kind of guy, man. Hey, yo, Zane Durant is a beast. A beast, bro. An absolute beast. But yeah, man, listen, this is the thing. You gotta go out there. Yeah, no, and Raider Loso, Gentry does need to put weight on. But look, when you got a young player like that, bro, with those athletic gifts and that range, that's stuff you can't teach. He can put on weight. You just get him in the weight room. Get him in the weight room. Get him on a nutrition plan. Get him some protein. Give him a little HGH. Now we stop saying that. You know what I'm saying? For all my gym heads. Yo, but Gentry is a guy, man. That is how you build a roster. Bringing in young, talented guys like that. And look, that's the thing. And that's what I mean, bro. He'll get drafted late, but he's one of them guys you're going to look at. Like, listen, Max Crosby was a project. Max Crosby was a project, bro. Don't forget that. My guy, Raider Jeff, man, with the $5 slapper room. Appreciate you, man. This is the day I like the most of the combine. You get to see the position that is near and dear to my heart, the O-line, my favorite day. Raider Jeff, that's my guy, man. Raider Jeff's a hard-nosed, old-school Raider fan, man. That guy eats sawdust for breakfast. That's what I'm talking about. That's an old-school, grizzled Raider fan, man. That's what I like, man. We getting too soft out here. We need some old-school Raider fans like my guy, Raider Jeff, man. The F we need. And my guy Ridgeback said the NFL meal rules will help him gain weight. Yeah, Gentry, I'm not worried about that, man. I ain't worried about that, bro. And guys, speaking of your supplements, have you taken your Apex? I mean, guys, it is all natural. It is wasted talent approved. I'm trying to tell you, if you don't want to waste your talent, go in there, go to menoforder.com, start yourself out on some Apex. You will see the results right off the bat. You guys see how wasted talent is trimming down again. I am losing weight. I've started my program with Apex. I have stopped lifting weights. I'm just doing my cardio right now, but it's helping me. But I'm about to start lifting weights again and start putting muscle back on your brother Wasted again. Yeah, Alkeem, you said Max had to bulk up, and so does Eric Gentry. And that's okay. And Casanova Court Club, Grady, the level of disrespect that you brought to my chat, you can get your ass in the gulags, you old bum. I mean, did I need to be asking you, did you change your depend? Now, I'm trying to do a good show today. Don't you bring your crap in here trying to disrespect the great and powerful wasted talent. Hey, Classic Man Q, listen, bro. This is the Wasted Talent show. Lee Hunter will be mentioned. You shut your effing mouth. And thank you, William Voronoi. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Drip God. Yes. Yes, my guy, Lodi, member for 24 months. Brisker about to be a free agent. I'd like us to get him. Well, you know I was high on Jaquan Brisker coming out of Penn State. I love Jaquan Brisker. I would like if the Raiders would bring him in as well. Oh, my God. Guys, listen. The young old head himself is in the place to be. Hammer, Wasted, you old bum. Hammer, you look like a dirty sponge. You get the F up out of here with your crap. The F are you even doing in here? The F up out of here. We're about to be unceremoniously blocked. I mean, my God, Hammer, your crap. But salute to my guy, Bubba, 6'9", the $5 slapper room. The Knicks about to get slapped around by the Spurs today. The only thing you're about to go do is go in your room and go slap your hand, my buddy, because the Knicks ain't getting slapped around by nobody. It's about to be the Knicks are about to go out there and absolutely cook and try to find a way to deal with the goddamn pterodactyl in Wemby, man. That guy is ridiculous. But yeah, man, yo, Lee Hunter, man, Lee Hunter, man, this guy, man, absolute stud, man, absolute stud. Texas Tech boy, man, my God, man. I mean, that kid, man, he cooked, man. He cooked. He killed me when he blew a kiss at the camera, yo. The boy, he killed me with that, man. But yeah, listen. That's another big Jesse on the line. 6'4", 330. Big corn-fed Alabama brother. 4-star prospect coming out. I mean, look, his strength is off the charts. Strength is off the chart. And he has that desired body for a defensive lineman, man. Big chest, big shoulders, decent arms. You know what I mean? Big space eating round kind of guy, man. And it's the thing, man. He has a lot of athleticism, man. A lot of athleticism. What I like about that kid, he was like a dancing bear. And I saw on film, he has a terrific punch, man. A terrific punch for a defensive lineman. But Lee Hunter is a guy, man, that I hope might be around for the Raiders, man. I really do. Look, and Walt compares, Lee Hunter to Vince Wilfork, man. I think that's look, bro, I don't like comparing people to guys like Vince Wilfork, man. I really don't, bro. I don't. Like Vince Wilfork, man, to me, and look, listen, that's a good comparison, bro. But Vince Wilfork, man, dude, to me, Vince Wilfork should probably walk into the goddamn Hall of Fame, bro. Vince Wilfork is one of the best zero techs I've ever seen. One of the best defensive tackles I've ever seen, bro. Like real rap. 13 seasons, 16 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 12 recoveries. He was a dominant nose tackle, bro. Dominant. He was really the straw that stirred the drink on the defensive side of the ball for them Patriot defenses those years, man. And a lot of people say he's a mirror image of Vince Wilfork, man. I just don't like putting that on the kid because he isn't. Walt, you're right. But I hate putting that on these young guys coming into the league, guys that are one-of-ones like Vince Wilfork, man. Oh, Nick Solano, how you doing today, man? He goes, the Raiders organization is trash. Not even Mendoza can save these losers. Hey, Nick Solano, you know what can't save you? Nobody can save your punk ass from getting banned for life. Gulags for life. You don't ever come in here talking crap about the Raiders, you effing bum. Where did you even come from? Now you have been unceremoniously blocked. And I don't ever do that. I don't ever do that. You don't ever come in here talking about the Raiders like that. Yo, he's not in the gulags. He's banned from the channel, period. Banned. Get your punk ass out of here. We trying to talk about ball today, and you come here with your effing nonsense. You will come up here talking about the Raiders like that, you effing bum. Get the F up out of here. Then don't you ever come back. You have been unceremoniously blocked. Unceremoniously blocked forever. Effing bum. Where the F did this guy come from? Salute to my brother, Demon King gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited slappies to the masses. Oh my God. And salute to my brother Graphic Raider in here, man. Doing the Lord's work. Thank you. He's a goddamn bum, Graph. Graph doing the Lord's work at the NFL Combine, man. Listen, the big fellas, the big Jessies are about to get out there, man. The big Jessies are about to get out there. Graph is in a place to be. Hey, Graph, if you got any stuff that you want to drop in the chat, bro, or you were talking to me, oh, man, yo, Graph, listen, man, calling me a bum. Listen, you would aspire to be as great as this bum. You effing loser, you coming up here with your crap. Shouldn't you be at the NFL Combine sniffing jock straps or something? The F you doing here? I mean, you come in with your insulting crap. I should send you to the effing gulags. You get the F up out of here. It's going to be shieldless, motherfuckers. Both of you. Bunch of effing bums. And Winston Steinman, he goes, the angry wet blanket with Chick-fil-A send me to the gulags. Winston Steinman, I don't know who the F you are. F you. You go F yourself. And listen, here you go. And you say anything else, you will be sent to the gulags permanently. He says, I'm on my way to the airport, you bumsicle. That's exactly where the F you belong, Graf. That's exactly where the F you belong. You belong in a dumpster. At the dumpster at the bottom of an airplane hangar, you effing bum. I'm not responding to your crap anymore. Look like a goddamn thumb. Hey, Hammer, no, Hammer, I don't want you making my show boring. You get the F up out of here. You just, no, I don't want to bring you up. You get the F out of here. This is a wasted solo show. I don't need any of you guys crap. All right, let's talk some ball. Hey, Graf, safe travels. You have a terrible flight, you effing bum. I hope you got to go right to the chiropractor as soon as you get off of the plane. I hope the person next to you is eating crab legs and farting. The F up out of here with your crap. Both of you. You don't have Hammer. I hope you have a terrible Sunday. You effing bum, you. So look, my God. So Mendoza isn't such a red after all. If you gotta well, if you go out with the boys for beers in my Madden voice, that's a guy who loves his teammates and will go to war for him. Like, bro, I don't understand where where that comes from. Like, bro, like I don't want my quarterback to be like, I'm cool with my quarterback being a buttoned up business-like guy. I'm cool with that. Like, I don't want my quarterback being a backwards hat guy with his chains dangling. And, you know, look, I want my quarterback being the adult in the room. I don't know what the hell you guys want. Like, I see people making up memes and stuff with Fernando Mendoza with tattoos and shit all on his neck. I don't want that. I don't need that, bro. I'm cool. I don't want Deshaun Watson. I don't need the cool. I need my quarterback to be kind of a dork. I would hope that would be the case, bro. I mean, especially in Las Vegas. Like, I don't understand what the hell's wrong with you guys. Salute to my guy, Timmy, a.k.a. Miko McCray with the $5 slapper room. Get that bum out of here. That's right. Hey, you know what you can go drink, Graf? Go drink this right here, you mother effer. Let me block your punk ass. You get the F up out of here, Graf. Have a terrible flight. Go drink some piss. The F up out of here with your crap. But listen, I can't let these bums distract me from the greatness that's happening here. Graf has been put in the gulags. You have a terrible night. But listen, at the end of the day, right? I am over the whole narrative that Fernando Mendoza is a dork. Like, I don't give a shit. I just want him to be a great, great player. The Raiders are blessed to have the #1 pick, like my man Walt said. And I'm gonna be real with you. It would be criminal for them not to take advantage of that. And look, you as an organization have done everything else but going about rebuilding this thing this particular way over the last 20 years. You've done everything but this. This is the way. This is the way, man. I don't understand, bro. I really, really, really don't understand, yo. It's his hand size. It's the way he runs. It's the way he talks and acts. It's that he's too nice. Can't ever please people when it comes to Mendoza. Take that misery elsewhere. Salute my Jersey, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. I don't want to hear that shit, bro. I don't want to hear that shit, man. Like, you know, everybody acts like Patrick Mahomes is cool. Patrick Mahomes to me sounds like a goddamn Muppet. Mendoza, MVP coming, baby. Look, DeMokes, please stop saying that because none of your predictions ever come true, you effing bum. Please stop saying that. And like I'm saying, bro, we blessed, bro. Like jokers want Johnny Manziel, bro. I want somebody that wins games. Yo, who did Graf snipe? Look, if somebody was talking crap about Graf, leave him here. Leave him here. Listen, you will be let out of the gulags if you're talking trash about Graf. Oh my God, man. I mean, DeMokes, you shut the F up with your crap. I mean, come on. But look, at the end of the day, yo, Uncle Patty Cakes. Yo, the great and powerful Uncle Patty Cakes has been sniped. Oh my God. Uncle Patty Cakes, it's okay. It's okay. You will get a reprieve if you're talking trash about Graf. Oh my God, yo. Salute, y'all. But listen, let's get back to it, right? Because we've been going on and on and on, right? We haven't really gotten into what I really wanted to get into. So, you know, a lot of the guys that I'm really, really excited about, and I'm not going over every position this episode. We can do that at another time. I mean, for me, you know, the obvious people in this draft, man, are people that we're not going to really get a sniff at, right? Guys like Caleb Downs, you know, Jeremiah Love, of course, Fernando. We're going to draft Ruben Bain, Mayuga, Arvell Reese, you know, Delaney Mesidor Delaney. Look, man, David Bailey, man, he was a guy that really, really surprised me, man. Like a lot of people have him going second in the draft, man. You know, the one thing that I noticed, because once I saw him at the combine, it made me curious, and I went and I looked at. I didn't look at whole games. I'm not gonna lie. Like I went and I looked at some highlights. Right. I didn't see a whole lot of, you know, I have to watch games. That's like when you start scouting these guys, you can't just look at highlight tapes and say that he's him, because they're gonna show you all the positive looks, right? But you know, the way I see him, he reminds me a lot of Derek Hall that came out of Alabama, man. You know, he's a California kid, you know, from what I understand, but he has a very good first step. That's what I did see from his highlight tapes. He has rare athletic profiles, man. I mean, he really lit the combine on fire, man. This is a guy that I think is gonna, if he can get polished with his technique, he can really, really be an all-pro kind of a guy. And I'm gonna be real, like he's one of these guys that can stop and start really great quick twitch. He has really, really good moves too. From what I see, he has like inside spins and stuff. Really, really long arms. Nice rip move. Man, he is a guy that he looks like a dude, man. He is definitely a dude. Definitely a dude. And he has a great motor too, for what I saw. You know, the only thing about the kid, you know, for me, is that, you know, he looks like he's about maxed out as far as from a size perspective, you know, and that's the thing, right? So I don't know if he can add any more muscle, and if he did, it would probably slow him down, right? And then sometimes because of the fact that he doesn't have that weight, you know, he can kind of get pushed around a little bit. But man, I love the kid, man. I love him, especially just from a pass rushing perspective. Especially from a pass rushing perspective, man. Now, listen, according to NFL Network, salute to my guy Ridgeback. Potential free agent QBs, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Tua turn the ball over, and Geno Smith. Geno Smith is getting linked to the Minnesota Vikings. You know, I said that I could see him going to Arizona as well. You know, they're going to bring somebody in to push JJ McCarthy. That is not his job. They might possibly move on from JJ McCarthy. The only thing about that's kind of is strange is that that's a Kevin O'Connell guy. Like Kev, I think, and I don't really know how, you know, the last GM and the head coach, if they were on the same sheet of music with the JJ McCarthy pick. It kind of seems like since the GM got fired that might have been a GM move and not a coach move. And it doesn't really look like, you know, a QB whisperer like Kevin O'Connell. If he's feeling like they're ready to give up on JJ McCarthy, then, you know, it is what it is. I mean, JJ McCarthy is a guy that I would love to kick the tires on, man. Love to kick the tires on. Yeah, man, guys, get them likes up, man. Graphic Ready says new to the channel, great show. Thank you, Graph. Thank you. Thank you, Graph. Appreciate it. Had a little stretch in the gulags, you know, didn't even get a chance to collect his commissary, but he is back. Salute to my guy, Graphic Raider, man. But at the end of the day, and welcome to the channel, Graphic Raider. Welcome. But this is the thing, right? For me, right? Like I'm in under the estimation that when you start talking about some of these free agent quarterbacks out there, the Raiders are going to be in the market for somebody to bring in to have a veteran in that room. And there are a lot of people that are thinking that, you know, look, the Raiders are in a space where they would ride with Aiden O'Connell. I don't see Aiden O'Connell being a guy that Clint Kubiak's going to keep around. I really don't. I really don't. I really want to see the Raiders go and kick the tires on a guy like a Kirk Cousins that can really, really, you know, bring our rookie quarterback up to speed. I would prefer to see our rookie quarterback watching the first 4 weeks of the season. There are a lot of people who don't agree with that. I think that there's value in that, unless he just comes and blows everybody's doors off in the offseason and just takes the job. And see, the thing for me is this: having a vet in a building is a good measuring stick, you know, as opposed to just handing the guy the job just because of where he was drafted. I want to see my young quarterback beat out a legitimate threat to take a job from him. I would love to see that, because if that's what happens, then I know we're on the right track. I know we're on the right track. Yeah, listen, and there are a lot of running backs out there, right? There are a lot of guys in this draft that to be real with you, they could address that need in this draft. There were a lot of young, good running backs in this draft, man. A lot of good running backs in this draft. And to be real with you, you know, I think that would probably be the direction the Raiders should probably go. You know who really, really impressed me, man, was freaking Eli Heidenreich, man. The fullback. Man, he freaking impressed me, man. I'm surprised at how freaking fast that guy was, man. Sheesh, man. But you got the Keytron Allens of the world, man. Mike Washington, man. He made himself some money and out there. Jaden Ott made himself a little money. I mean, a lot of these guys were out there cooking, man. But I can see the Raiders going out there and going that direction. And I love the fact that the Raiders have already said that they're going to bring in a fullback. And I'm gonna tell you something. If they're gonna go fullback, look, Heidenreich, man. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name, man, but listen, that kid, man. I am surprised that fullback is that damn fast, bro. For real, man. Man, that kid. And Graf, he said the Saints are drafting Love. Spoke to them. They said they were, and we will take care of them and wink. Hey, man. Hey, Graf, like, listen, earlier in the show, I spoke about, Love possibly going to the Saints. I would love to see that, because it looks like they're really high on Tyler Shuck, right? And they want to build. The thing for me is this. If they do draft Jeremiah Love, which would be dope for them, what do you think they're going to do with Alvin Kamara? Do you think they're going to keep him? Do you think they're going to keep Alvin Kamara, bro? And if Alvin Kamara is available, is that the kind of running mate that you'd like to bring in with a guy like an Ashton Jeanty? Raph said, we met with Zach Branch. He definitely wants to be a Raider. Bro thought me and Stu were Raider scouts. That's dope, yo. You walking around with the Raider Yeti, man. You walking around. Salute to Stu, man. Jason, what it is, man? What it is, my brother? What it is? But I would love to see the Saints draft Love just so that Joker don't go to the Chiefs, man. Yeah, man. Look, bro, I really, really think that you should see your way out. You're coming here trying to make a mockery of a wasted talent solo show. Listen, where's all this smoke at when we're doing the Graphic Wasted show? Where's all this smoke at when you're not in the chat, throwing a stone and running up out of here? I mean, where's this smoke at, Graph? You effing bum. But yeah, I don't know, man. Look, listen, a lot of these young backs in this draft, right? The Raiders got a lot of picks. I would really love to see the Raiders go out there and bring in a fullback, like a young fullback, instead of going out on the scrap heap. There's not a lot of them guys, left. There's not a lot of those guys left, man. There's not a lot of them guys left, man. But that kid, let me tell you, coming out of Navy, man, that dude absolutely cooked, man. He ran a 4.47 in his first attempt. Man. That kid, man, he shocked me. I didn't realize he was that level of athlete. Did not realize that, man. Hey, well, you know what you are? You're Gulag's material. Listen, I am the only one who can talk trash about Graf. Graf saying that he's a Mike Washington guy. Man, get the F up out of here, bro. But nah, look, you can have Mike Washington. He had the fastest time, I think, out of all the running backs so far, man. My guy Caesar Lorenzo, I feel like people weren't high on this draft class into the combine. Seems like a solid class to me. It is. See, a lot of this stuff, man, when people give their opinions, they're giving opinions based off of hype. They're giving opinions based off of hype. Like you as a person who watches the game, you have to actively be watching this shit for you to give your real true opinion on some of these guys. The hype train wasn't as big as the hype train has been for a lot of other programs, right? And I really believe it. And I believe a lot of outliers won this year. You had a team like Indiana that nobody thought was going to win. This is not a big college program. So when you're in a situation like where you got Indiana winning, right? You don't have that hype train of these SEC teams having a Georgia and some of these blue blood programs. And I think a lot of people underestimated this draft. But like I said before, I think you're going to find value up and down this draft, man. Up and down this draft. Now, the thing with Mike Washington is I don't know if the Raiders are going to have a chance to take him. I think he's going to be one of the first backs off the draft after Jeremiah Love is gone, right? All right. You say Heiderreich is a Big Mike guy? Listen, you can have him, Big Mike. He is a Navy midshipman. He's a fullback. Okay, Big Mike guy. It is what it is. And yo, like I'm saying, man, like today, I heard that the Raiders met with Pat Coogan. Listen, guys, this is one thing that I need you guys to not do. Right? I need for everybody. Let's get focused here, right? We kind of lost the plot here in this episode. But what I need for people to do is I need for people to not overestimate guys that go to Indiana just because they played with Fernando Mendoza. See a lot of that starting to happen, guys. See a lot of that starting to happen. Look, I like Pat Coogan. But Pat Coogan, no, I'm not. I never try to avoid the smoke. Harold Perkins is a wasted guy. I don't want to hear Graf's crap. Yeah, no, I just said that, Graf. I know you're not really listening, but I just said that. Yeah, we met with Pat Coogan. That's really what brought me to this thought process. Like we can't overestimate these guys. I like Pat Coogan, but there are other people that are centers, right? That to me grade out a lot better than Pat Coogan. Now, the only advantage to bringing a Pat Coogan here, as far as from an Indiana perspective, is that center to quarterback exchange. But Pat Coogan's an undersized guy, man. You got guys like Slaughter and Logan Jones and guys like that to me, and I like Pat Coogan. I liked Pat Coogan when he was at Notre Dame. I just don't necessarily know if he's the answer at center for us. I really don't know. There's a lot of guys, man, that I see a lot of you guys mocking to the Raiders just because they're at freaking, Indiana. Like, look, there's about 5 guys I would draft over Pat Coogan. Seriously. And listen, I'm not going to say Pat Coogan is trash. He's not trash at all. Wasted. Did you hear Dan Orlovsky talk about Mendoza only watching 5 games of film? That guy is trash. Bro, look, you got to understand something, right? And we talk about this all the time. Dave, we are roughly the same age, right? We come up in the era of, we come up in the Keith Olbermann, Dan Patrick era, man. We come up in the Chris Berman, Tom Jackson era, the Charlie Steiner era. We come up in the Dick Schaap era. We come up in the era of real sports journalism, bro. Guys that really do their homework. Guys that really have a really informed opinion. This is the era we come up with. John Clayton, God rest his soul. John, the professor, John Clayton. Like, we didn't just have a bunch of former athletes looking for the next hot take. And when you're in these think tank kind of shows, when it's not information, right? This is the kind of shit that you come up with. You come up with Dan Orlovsky, that it kind of was a guy when he first started on ESPN, really tried to give tangible information. But we live in a world where you have the Ryan Clarks of the world that every other week he's making news because of, one hot take after the next. We live in a world where, you're on the show with Stephen A. Smith. You have to do shit like that when you're Dan Orlovsky. You do. And Dan Orlovsky knew if he said something bad about the presumptive first pick, that he was going to get engagement. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is, yo. No, I said Dick Schaap. You see, that's the problem with the pause game with you lames. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Wasted is I am an OG, not an old flea. Don't start with that crap. Listen, all you guys with your shaboinker talk, you guys can get the F up out of here with that crap. Seriously, you will be blocked. We are talking football. We ain't talking about shaboing boings. It's not what happens over here. You got to go to other people's channel for that. You got other people, they play the pause game all day, shaboing boing talk. No, there's no shaboing boing surfing up in here. The F up out of here with your crap, Edgar. I mean, my God. All the shaboing boing talk gets sent to the gulags. Y'all don't know who Dick Schaap is? He's a legend. God rest his soul. The sports reporters. I mean, what the F is up with you? I apologize about the Surratt love. He kind of had a tough day yesterday. Still knew about him before I knew who Mendoza was. Listen, I told y'all, man, look, it's not, don't apologize. If you think he's going to be a good player at the next level, you could be possible. None of us know. You know, the combine doesn't just take a guy out of the runnings for having a great career, but I think a lot of people are getting a little overvalued because they play with Fernando Mendoza. Seriously. And look, even Sonny Styles is a guy that when you see the tape, you see how productive he was at Ohio State, and then you see the measurables. That is how you move up the draft board. But what I don't like is there are some guys that people are going to go out there and they're going to bloviate about, right? And then what's going to wind up happening is that they're going to move up the draft board unnecessarily. Seriously. Who is this guy? You do? I mean, God bless you. God bless you, man. But you got to get the F up out of here. This is a family show, Chowder. It's a family show. I got to go through my block list because I have my backup channel. Oh, and everybody in the chat, there's 482 of you guys. Listen, what I need for you guys to do on the way out, Raiders Wasted Talent is the backup channel. I need you guys to go subscribe to that because we want to make sure there's some things that I want to do with that channel. I want to get that channel rocking and rolling and monetized. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to that. But yeah, Chatter is in the gulags permanently, yo. You wash your filthy mouth out with soap, you bum. Happened every year when Saban was with Bama. Overhyped players except a few. That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. Yeah, like that kid from Arkansas. He will definitely move up for no reason. He will definitely move up for no reason. And if there are any eggplants in the chat, you guys will be blocked. Yo, you need to do your effing research, you bum. The F you talking about? What are you talking about? You need to do your effing research. Hey, Walt, listen, if you know so much, Walt, why don't you take your old ass and you start your own channel? You effing stone-faced bum. You watch your effing mouth, Walt. I do my research. What do you do? But come up in everybody's chat and just talk crap every goddamn time you pull up in here with no effing tangible information. Whatever happened to that mock draft? Huh? Where's your effing mock draft at? Where's your effing mock draft? I mean, where's your mock draft at? And Hug D's, listen, go to the gulags. You don't give no effing mock. You give all you do is give a bunch of negative crap. Get the F up out of here with your crap, Walt. If Trent Williams is available and free, do you think the Raiders should go after him? Yeah. Why the hell? I hate. Look, and you guys are getting me off my topic, but I got to address this. Why the hell would you not bring the best offensive tackle in football in? Why? Like, what? Why would you not? What would be the sum total of you not kicking the tires on that man? Bring him in. Bring him in. You damn right you bring in. So you bring in Trent for the remainder of his career. You put him at left tackle. You told, hey, Colton, it's been nice knowing you, but go to right tackle. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have any problems on that offensive line. I don't give a goddamn. You get him. That's freaking Trent freaking Williams. You figure it out with a player like that. I can give a damn. And Markel Bell is a wasted guy. I like Markel Bell. The only thing about Markel Bell, he's big dude, slow feet. Slow feet, man. Yeah, Sonny Styles is going to be great. Like all of those guys, Arvell Reese, Caleb Down, these guys are going to be terrific, man. These guys are going to be terrific. Sonny Styles is going to be an all-pro, man. Sonny Styles is a terrific player, man. Terrific. Yeah, Trent could be 38. He could be 38. Listen, man. You see a lot of these guys that, especially tackles that are great, bro. These are guys play late into their career, man. Especially tackles. Great ones. And this draft is loaded. But yo, bringing a guy like Trent Williams in effectively allows you to let some of your guys that you got last year develop. It lets you develop a Charles Grant. And if Charles Grant is a guy that could take that brass ring and play to a level that's close to Colt Miller or better, then now you got another trade chip to make your team better. You can move, Colt Miller up out of here. Wasted. Clint Kubiak is having a power block and a great hands fullback in his offense. Did they draft this need or pay for the free agency? I think if they pick up some more draft capital, I think that is some very, very good late round value. I think I would bring the guy in on a rookie deal. But there are not a lot of great fullback help available in the National Football League. There's a lot of guys that have eliminated the fullback from their arsenal. Yeah, Mike Mamula, Gene Walker. You remember the biggest combine fraud there ever was, Vernon Golston. Yes. That's dumb, wasted. You don't want any receivers in their 30s, but someone close to 40 on this tour ass team. I notice you aren't talking about him wanting big money and taking up our cap space. Please listen. First of all, silver and bullshit facts. It has to make sense, right? I'm not saying go out there and back up the Brinks truck for Trent Williams, but Trent Williams is a guy that when you really look at it, if you bring him in, it has to make sense for the Raiders. If it don't make sense financially, then it don't make sense at all. Like when I talk about any player, just know it needs to make sense financially. But if you can, if you see Trent Williams in a situation where it can make sense for the Raiders, then why the fuck not? There are a lot of teams that are going to set his value. And yes, is he the best left tackle in football? Yes, but he is old. And there's a price to be paid for your age in this league. So the market, if you're the Raiders, you sit back, you see what his market is, and then what you do is you decide whether you want to pay for it. But when you start talking about receivers and left tackles are two totally different things. And Trent Williams looks like he's still playing at a terrific level. And the thing with an older player like that, you got to make sure that you have a trap door in the contract too. Look, I don't understand how that's the same, bro. How the hell is Trent Williams and Colton Miller the same, bro? You guys are out of your fucking mind, bro. Excuse my language. You guys are really out of you guys are outside of your minds. outside of your minds. How, like, you know, like, what are you talking about? Have you seen this guy play? He's 37 years old. He's owed $38 million. It's not going to happen. We know that. We know that. But listen, man, I mean, to me, it makes no sense if he, you know, from a financial standpoint, lines up with you to not bring a player like that in, even for 2 or 3 years, to make sure that the blind side of your number one pick is protected. I mean, in the best possible way. Like last year, he had a injury chasing down a defender in week 17. He just sat out week 18. But if the playoffs was on the line, he probably would have played. Trent Williams is a 12-time Pro Bowler, man. He's a 12-time Pro Bowler. Like I don't understand why you would not want to bring a guy like that if it made financial sense. This is a guy that's going to walk into the goddamn Hall of Fame. You guys are out of your fucking mind, bro. Yeah, but Marv. So Marv. All right, lingering injuries. So I got Colton Miller and I got Trent Williams. Right? Trent Williams has been healthier. He's been better. He's just a better player. Listen. And then now I have options. I already have young options on this roster. Like y'all saying, Trent Williams to this day right now is better than Colton Miller. Played more than him in the last few years and everything. Colton played right tackle in college. He can go to right tackle. Like you guys are pretending like Colton Miller hasn't been injured the last 3 fucking years. And if Williams got 3 years left in him, great. And by that time, you just drafted a kid in Charles Grant. He can develop for the next year or two. But like, do I think Trent Williams? I think there's more of a chance that Trent Williams will wind up back with the Washington Commanders than he comes here. But listen, if you got a chance, why the hell not? Why the hell not? My guy, Hug These Nizuts. 20-month anniversary, man. He goes, hey, Wasted, sent me to the Gulags on our anniversary. Yes, man, yes. Happy anniversary, Hugs. Happy anniversary. Gulags, you went. No more fitting tribute to the Mod Father, Hug These. You said, what's the point in bringing in Trent? Nobody, who the hell said we bringing Trent Williams in for a year? I said for the next 3 years. The next 3, you effing bum. 3. But listen, if we're being honest, it's probably not going to wait. He's probably going to want to go somewhere and win. That's what but in NFL, you could turn it around in a year too, right? It's not the NBA where you got a whole bunch of guys that's trying to duck the smoke. Like a lot of these NFL guys, they understand, the situation they're in. But salute to everybody. Who's blocking you? I'll show you who's blocking you. I'm blocking you. To the Gulags you go, you effing bum. To the Gulags you go, Walt. And let that be a lesson to you. 15 seconds in the Gulags, Walt. I said to trade Colton 2 years ago for draft capital because it's more likely that Trent will sustain another injury that will cause him to, bro. Dog. That's not accurate. Like, how could you gauge who is more susceptible to being injured based off of what? if you're basing it off the last few years, it's more of it's probably more of a chance that Colton gets hurt. And the thing is, for me, is this. Like, and everybody says, you know, Colton's not going to play. Not Colton, but Trent Williams, bro, is a Hall of Famer, bro. Hall of Famers play till they 38, 39 years old, 40 years old. The boy going to play for, if he gets another contract, believe you me, he will play the rest of that. He will. Like, look at a guy like Andrew Whitworth. Look at a guy like Andrew Whitworth. Everybody talked about how he was too old. Went, balled out, played terrific. All 6'7" of them. Played effing terrific to the end of his career. Won a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl. Won an effing Super Bowl. Was in the damn Pro Bowl late in his career. Played effing terrific. Andrew Whitworth was damn near 40 years old when he retired. He was 40 years old. I believe Trent Williams, being that Hall of Fame kind of profile guy, can play these 40 years old. Any O-lineman at the combine I'm looking at? Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, man. A lot of these guys. I mean, look, the thing for me is I think that the Raiders need to really look to address the offensive line in free agency. Like, if somebody's there and they're BPA and it's late in the draft, you take them. But for me, they drafted trenches last year, and they need to see that through. They need to see that through. But, you know, guys like Caden Proctor, guys I'm looking at, Ione from Penn State, Caleb Lamu from Utah, Paragon is a guy I'm looking at. Of course, Jennings Dunker. Man, Blake Miller out of Clemson is another guy. Jake Slaughter. Like, Jake Slaughter is a guy that he's the only guy that, like, if I'm not going to address the center in free agency, Jake Slaughter is the guy I'm taking first. That's the guy I'm taking first, man. Look, we'll keep an eye on Trent Williams, but I think that Trent Williams is a guy that's going to play. He's always played. Yeah, and we have seen enough of these young guys, man. It's time. It is time to bring some guys that come in. I'm tired of developing talent, bro. Look, man. I want somebody I know can play. I want somebody I know can play. And the thing with Colton Miller and that shoulder injury, he's never going to be over it. When you got a trick shoulder like that, you just never know when that's going to pop out. Yeah, I know these big jokers throwing themselves forward. That's the kid from Minnesota, right? I mean, look, this is the thing that I hate, because I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I don't want to butcher the kids. He's from Arizona State. The kid from Arizona State. I don't want to butcher the kid's name, man. I gotta hear them pronounce his name, man. But yeah, man. Hey guys, listen, man. We've been going an hour and a half, man. We're gonna cook. I'm gonna do a more detailed combine show. I want to watch for the last day of the combines. We're gonna really break this down. I'm gonna be doing some pre-recorded videos. I'm actually gonna drop a couple of those tomorrow morning. Every day this week we will be dropping pre-records. Guys, before we leave, I need everybody before you leave, all 500 of you. Hey, Hug, are you there right now? Do me a favor, Hug. Put the link, or anybody, Bubba, Q, one of y'all, go to my other channel and put the link in the chat. Could you guys put the link in the chat for the other channel? The Raiders Wasted Talent channel. Could you guys do me that favor? Put the link in the chat, and I'm gonna pin it to the top. You can't find it. Let me see if I can find it, man. Let me see if I can find the channel, man. But look, we're gonna put in the chat. I want you guys to go over there and subscribe, because we want to make sure we have there's some stuff that we're gonna be doing, you know, over there. I'm gonna put some new stuff on that other channel. You know what I mean? Like I really want to start, you know, kind of segmenting what I do and how I do it. You know what I mean? I really would like to do that, and I want to make sure that channel is rocking and rolling, that is solvent. I have to pair it to my new channel too. You know what I'm saying? But I would like you guys to go over there and hit that subscribe button, man, if you guys could. There's 7 likes. You know, Humvee's over there. AC Ybarra's watching from over there. You know, Sean Johnson is over there watching. Yo, that's a name I haven't seen in a month of Sundays over here. But yeah, nah, look, I found it. So guys, do me a favor, man. Cost you nothing. It's right there. Raiders Wasted Talent. It has my new insignia. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button. All 500 of y'all, let's get that thing monetized, man. We got enough people in here watching now that can get that thing monetized today. Let's get that channel monetized, y'all. Anthony, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You get the F up out of here, Anthony. The Mokes, you might be a mod. You might be a mod. But yo, do me a favor, guys. Go subscribe to the backup channel. And then we will be having on the backup channel. Anthony's been blocked. We will be having moderators on the other channel too, guys. So let me know. Salute to Walt. Walt is back from the gulags. Salute. Walt got his weight up in the gulags, yo. Anthony is blocked for the rest of the show. Walt, give me that mock draft, or you will be in the gulags again, Walt. I don't want to hear your crap. Full mock, Walt. I want it posted in my inbox by tomorrow, Walt. You effing bum. But guys, do me a favor, man. Go over there, subscribe to the backup channel. I think we're gonna start doing some different things over there. But love every single one of y'all. We 90 minutes in. And yo, we're gonna have a great time, bro. Ben, I am nice to my guests, Ben Bad. Am I nice to all of you guys in the chat all the time? No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Am I nice to everybody who's ever been on my show and scream with me? You damn right. Raider Loso, no, there is no protective custody. You got to go to the big yard as soon as you go to the gulags. Raider Bubba is subscribed to the New Wasted channel. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to everybody, though, man. Love every single one of y'all. Salute. Y'all have a great day. Tomorrow, I will be dropping some pre-records, and we're going to go over the combine some more all week, guys. We're going to be going to the combine all week. Yo, salute to every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great night. Yo, Cody, boom. But salute to everybody, man. Love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great day, man. I am out of here. I got some biz naive to take care of, y'all. I got to go. Peace.